Good day, gamers. It's Vladimir here. Hope you all having a good day. We're going to discuss some Diablo 4 news today and some events that have been taking place. Diablo 4 is in a bad situation right now, and it's in a very bad place, and it has been since day one of its release, June 6, 2023. So, before we get into that, though, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button so you never miss a video. Now, looking at Metacritic, at the worst video games of all time right now, Diablo is sitting on the second page, okay? So it's not in the top yet. It's not in the top slots, but it's getting there with the 2.0 PC user review. But now, if we scroll down and we go down just a little bit further, there we go. Overwatch 2 is also on this list, even less than Diablo 2. But wait, if you go to the top, these are the worst. This is the absolute last page of reviews, the lowest scores you can possibly get for games. We're going to go right to the bottom. Watch this shit. You ready for this? Blizzard has 2 games in the top 5 worst games of all time. And the number 1 worst game that they have, the second worst game of all time right now, by user review, is Diablo Immortal. The game they based half of Diablo 4 off of. This was the start of the problems. The fact that they thought microtransactions were the way to go, and limiting players and putting these mechanics in that would waste our time, purposely trying to get us to buy stuff from the shop. This has been proven time and time again, that companies are using psychologists, studying the psychology of gamers in order to get you to buy stuff from them. All right, whether it's battle passes, whether it's microtransactions, whether it's whatever you call it. The more time in the game you spend, that's their metric. They don't care how you spend it. It's the metric of how much time you spend in the game. So what they're going to do is they're going to drag the game out no matter how you can. Now, what's worse, though, is they're now going to the point where they're not producing quality anymore. Blizzard used to be a company I would praise. I built my first computer to play Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, and StarCraft. Then in Diablo 2, Warcraft 3. I built my first computers for that. I learned how to build computers just to play Blizzard's games. They were a company gamers were once proud to own their games. Now it's nothing but a regret. We're going to get into why. So when we look at this, them having the second worst title of all time, and then repeating that within the top, 100, we got to Diablo 4. Diablo 4 Xbox review, user score. Now, everybody knows. The people that do the professional reviews, great, we appreciate it. But we can't count on you because you guys aren't playing the full game. You guys aren't doing the full game. You guys aren't going through the actual content. You're playing a little portion of the game and then giving us a review. That's not valid to us. That doesn't mean jack shit. Personally, I don't look at your reviews anymore because of the fact that we know they're bought. The simple fact is the user score is where it actually counts, because this is where players are going to actually tell you whether or not it's worthwhile. And right now, Xbox's review is 2.7 on Metacritic. This is probably higher because of the fact that it actually has a package where Diablo comes with the game, with the Xbox. PC 2.0. And we're leading the race with PlayStation 5 at 1.7. And these guys are just dropping every day. So they're getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Recently, Baldur's Gate 3 had dropped. And it was a phenomenal launch. Nothing like Blizzard's Diablo 4. And part of the reason being is because of the fact that they did their job and they made a game for gamers, not for financials. This is the problem, is these companies don't care about us as gamers anymore. Video games used to be made for gamers by gamers, people that actually played these games. Okay? Nowadays, that's not happening. In fact, actually, Diablo 4 recently launched a video of Diablo 4 Adventure with the Dead. This is Belfry's car plane, and this is one of the issues that she described. Well, she didn't say it was an issue, but we know this is part of one of the issues. We'll get into this.
Event Deanie actually created.
I had help.
Oh, well, I mean, everybody has help. It's a collaborative job. People will create an initial dungeon, and then another dungeon designer will come in and then wind up basically giving both critique, and then also will make it better from there, and they'll understand, hey, this was like the core of the original idea, and keep that, and then we'll modify it to fit standards for the rest of the game on making sure, like, hey, killing all these monsters in this area is too large, so let's actually shrink it a bit. Oh, we still gotta go find another bell.
Yeah, we do a lot of play.
All right, so this is half the issue. Is we got one person making something, the dungeon, for example. Then we got another person coming in and changing it. Then we got another person coming in and changing it. Then we got another person coming in and changing it. And they don't all have one concise direction. This is half the issue. Now, just pay attention to the gameplay for a second. Forget about what they're saying. Just pay attention to this for a second.
Tests. So when someone has a dungeon ready, they'll be like, hey, can people play test my dungeon? And we actually have standing meetings specifically for like when someone has something that they want to have play tested, and we'll all get together and like play test it, and then we have a board where we keep like feedback and stuff like that, so you know, people can have like notes or whatever.
All right, we got 2 level 50 players here who are having a hard time taking down level 49 characters that are developers, guys. These are people that develop this game. They do not play this shit. They do not know this game because they don't play it. They don't know what you're going through, and that is why. Baldur's Gate 3 launched with a amazing launch. However, it's got some backlash. And the reason being is IGN released a video describing the current state of AAA gaming. And this is half of the problem that is in the situation today. Is because these studios don't care about the game anymore. They care about the money at the quarterly review. It's that simple. But here's something that this guy from IGN had to say. This came out after Baldur's Gate 3 came out with such phenomenal success, and people are raving about it on online, Twitter, whatever the case may be. And then developers started smashing on that because people were praising it. Listen.
But AAA game developers want you to know that this is rockstar level nonsense for scope, that it's foolhardy to set expectations higher, and Baldur's Gate 3 should not be used as a raised standard to RPGs going forward. Why was the first response to defend the current state of AAA gaming as opposed to saying, hey, maybe we can learn a thing or two from Baldur's Gate 3 and make our game better for our customers?
Bingo, right there. They don't want to make the game better for the customer because they want you to spend more money. Baldur's Gate 3 released a full package. Excellent game. Very few bugs. Anything that is an issue is being fixed immediately. The game runs fluidly. I have not heard of anybody have a technical issue with it. It is fantastic. It's not my play style. I tried it. It's fantastic though. I would absolutely recommend the game. I could not recommend that game, especially for anybody who's been a fan of Dungeons and Dragons or has been a fan of just the RPG genre and really want to get into an immersive game. Fantastic. Blizzard and Diablo is just such a mess. It's not even funny. And one of the things I can show you about that is the patch notes. Okay, if we take a look at the game, this is half the issues they've had from day one. All right, so we're just going to open this up real quick here. I don't, oh, there we go. All right, so we're going to get into this. So this is patch 1.1. As we get down into it, it's fixed an issue, fixed an issue, fixed an issue. I mentioned this before, and it's just nonstop, fixed an issue. Does this look like a game that was ready to be released? And this isn't the first time. That's the sad part. This is not the first time that they've had to release like this or launch like this. Look at this. Fix an issue. Fix an issue. There should not be this many issues in a game that has gone through open beta, quality controlled. There should not be that many issues. These patches shouldn't be this big. This is ridiculous. Look at it. And it's just non-stop fixed an issue. There is a YouTube video I watched yesterday. A fantastic video. Ginger Gaming Mentor. I'm going to leave a link below for you guys to check this out, okay? This guy went over a lot of the bugs. We'll just give him a quick listen here real quick. Fantastic views. Make sure you check this guy out. It's awesome.
Being able to take my Eternal Realm characters and getting access to seasonal items. There is currently a bug, and I'm not sure if it's been fixed yet, but I don't even really care. This bug never should have existed in the first place, that literally allowed Eternal Realm characters to get access to seasonal items and could then therefore stack up on things like Wrathful Hearts and Devious Hearts and all that other stuff that they shouldn't have access to. Why is this even a thing? And this is going to be a common theme throughout this entire video. The Season Infinite Gold mechanic glitch, which has since been patched, by the way, but why was this even a thing? Why did this make it into the game? In what world did they not vet their own seasonal mechanics that they allowed an
I'm not going to
infinite...
make you watch the whole video, but just to give you an idea here, as you said, it was a common theme, right? But look at, and he goes over many, many different things that are wrong with this game, all of which I agree with. And like for a good, quite a bit of time here, and just nonstop points out all of the shit that's wrong. And this is exactly the issue that they're having. Right here, particularly this response to the BG3 video. It's truly unrealistic to expect this on a regular basis because they had 6 years, 400 people with insane funding. Blizzard had how long? And had over 9,000 people? And how much budget? And they produced that shit? Unfortunately, though, guys, the situation for us is this. We are unfortunately, we are kind of at their mercy because they can pretty much do whatever they want and get away with it. And there's no way for us to hold them accountable. Which actually, I really would advocate that something needs to be done about that because of the fact that there should be some sort of accountability in this situation. Like, for example, those of us up here in Canada bought the Ultimate package from Diablo for Diablo 4. That's $150 Canadian. $100 US. So it's not small chump change from the average Joe who, you know, might be working a full-time job or whatever the case may be, or you may be working a part-time job or teenager or whatnot, trying to make a couple bucks to buy their favorite game from their favorite genre, and they buy this, and it's just honestly leaving players with bad taste in their mouths and feeling like they're ripped off. And absolutely, they have every right to feel that way because of the condition that this game is released in. It's been completely unacceptable. And these devs don't seem to give a shit. They don't care. And these campfire chats, they sit there and laugh about these issues. And they think it's funny. Meanwhile, all of them just doesn't seem to have a clue in their head together. And in fact, actually, the one description there, it's actually mentioned somewhere that they misspelled the word legendaries 3 times in the description of the notes. 3 times they misspelled the damn word. That's how much attention they're paying to this game. They don't give a shit. So anyhow, guys, that's my rant for now. The only way to hit these guys where it hurts is in their pockets. So my advice would be everybody just absolutely avoid the next battle pass. Do not buy anything from the shop. They do not deserve it. Not to mention prices are just way jacked. Just by making everything else look like shit in the game. Half the cosmetics look like shit. So don't buy it. That's my best advice because that's the only way they're going to learn their lesson is if we stop spending money on them. Because of this, I personally will never buy or pre-order another game from Blizzard. And I will personally never buy another Battle Pass again or item from their microtransaction shops. Especially since now that Baldur's Gate has shown they can release a full-fledged game, AAA status, without anything that you have to buy. It's all included in the game. You already paid for it once. Why Diablo didn't do that, I don't know. Anyhow, I'm Vladimir. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturday, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Till then, guys, keep gaming.